What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. Today we're going to be going over the markets. Is this meltdown going to continue? Are we going to get a relief rally up? What's going on? What can we expect? And what prices do we need to take a look at? Thanks again for tuning in, guys. Make sure you smash those thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for daily updates. Also, at the end of the video, you guys chose Stellar, so we're going to be looking at Stellar at the end of the video, and we'll take a look at both the bullish and the bearish case scenarios there. Also, if you guys want to see any ticker, whether it be a stock, leave it down in the comment section below. We'll add that to tomorrow's video. Whatever one gets the most people asking for it, that's what we'll go for. So something real quick before we begin, I want to talk about like what's going on in the markets. I went to the bank the other day and I was talking to the bankers there, right? And you kind of got to get a view. We talk about it all the time, getting a view of what's going on in the whole market as a whole. So I had to transfer a large sum of money, and I was asking him about, actually I had to wire it. So I was actually asking him about what people are doing right now, just to get a feel for what the banks tell you is going on. So he had said everybody's calling in, everybody's cashing out of the markets, and they're calling in to see where they can put their money, whether it be bonds or whatever, safely. So that's just another clue of what's going on here, guys. So pay attention to the big picture, not just one chart, not just Bitcoin, not just any one chart. It all goes together. We've talked about this. We'll take a look at the long-term view also, but let's take a look at what's going on in the markets. So as you guys know, we've been following this falling channel. We broke down from the rising channel within the falling channel. That target is the one we're waiting on at about 27,000. But before we get there, we have to break this low here. And if it doesn't happen today, let's move it down. But it'll be around 28,200 points for the Dow. And the measured move for that is around 23. But I had talked about there's always a possibility of getting a run up and retesting the center of this trend line right here, which is the center of the falling channel. Anyways, keeping an eye on what's going on. Obviously, the market had a big dump today. There's still a gap here. We may come to fill this gap at around 29.2 area. But again, all we have to do is watch for here is if we get down here and get support, we may get a little rally here at the 28.2, somewhere in that range. But once that breaks, then we're looking for the 27, possibly a rally up to retest the bottom of this channel. But guys, I think it's going to get to be really bad news if we break the bottom of this channel. Let's take a look at the DXY. Still bullish on the DXY. You guys know my next target for the DXY is 122, and that is the measured move of the break of this rising channel, right? And then we go into the weekly, and you guys can see my long-term view for the DXY. Very, 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 very bullish on the DXY. Let's move this down to our support line there. We would have to break this 110 before this is even close to invalidated, but I do believe we will get up to this 122, possibly get a pullback. We watch for a pullback there, maybe a rally in the markets. But once this breaks and holds, whether it be weeks or months away, once this breaks and holds, guys, my big target is around 178 to 180. It's this falling wedge that we've had forever. And yes, I am saying I do believe the DXY will reach new all-time highs. This target here may take years. We'll see what happens. We'll be keeping you updated on the markets here. And again, let me know what ticker you want to see in tomorrow's video. But before we go any further, definitely check out Prime XBT, by far my favorite exchange. They don't trade against you. You can trade traditional markets, Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, all on one exchange. You can have actually have multiple trades in, longs and shorts. So if you're scalping or whatever, they don't clump them all together. Definitely check them out. You can use my promo code SAVVY50. It'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus. SAVVY25 will get you 25% off your fees. And those last for 30 days. Once they run out, you can start a new email, start a new account, transfer your funds over, and do it all over again. So again, definitely check it out if you haven't already. I do have a tutorial on my YouTube page. Let's take a look at the daily. What's going on here in the daily? Not sure what happened here, but let me reset this chart. Looks like my lines moved. There we go. All better. So as you guys know, what I've been watching here, if we're going to bottom the end of this year, it's going to happen sometime in November. And that would be all the way down to the 3,500 range. Now, do I think that's going to happen this year? Probably not. I have a theory. You can check it out in the prior videos. I'm not going to go over that. I want to make this a quick update, but I have a theory we may not bottom this year. It may be next year, towards the middle or end of next year. But if that happens, I'm looking for a big bounce between the 75 and 8,500 between February and March somewhere. Get a big rally there, get everyone bullish again, just to come down and make new lower lows. Again, you can check out my Monday videos. I go into longer term ideas, so check those out. But anyways, we've been watching this falling triangle here, or descending triangle, and we've been talking about a break of this 18.2. Now, we would need an open and close of a 4-hour, preferably a daily, so the same candle has to open and close below this 18.2, 18.3 range, right? Once we get that validates this for me. And my next target's around 14 to 15.5, 14.5 or 15.5. That doesn't mean it has to bounce there, but those are my next target areas. And if you look at the daily RSI, we talked about this earlier in the week. Let me zoom in so you can see it. We talked about it once we were down here. Actually, when I talked about it, I think it was Tuesday, we were up above it. But I said, remember, the candle or the RSI always follows the body, not the wick of the candle. So you can't judge it until close. And I told you I believed we would close below. We did. We came back up. We retested, and continuation to the downside. Our next trend line is right around this area on the RSI, around 32.40. Looks like a possibility we may get a pump up before continuing down in the daily. Nevertheless, it's still macro bearish here, guys. We've talked about this for a long time. Still looking the same. Let's go into the 4-hour, and then we'll go into the longer term time frames, and then we'll look at Stellar. So 4-hour looks a little messy, but I'll explain. So on the 4-hour, our RSI is a little low here. Our trend line is still further down. So no matter what, I believe we have further down to go, but we could get some sideways action. Let this RSI reset, come back up to these ranges before continuing to the downside. I need to get this off of here. Let's get this off of the hourly chart. There we go. A little bit clearer. So we've talked about everybody was really bullish about breaking this trend line, but we knew to watch for the yellow trend line, right? As of right now, seems to be below this. A daily or a 4-hour open and close below this white trend line, which is that rising broadening wedge. Most likely, guys, we're headed lower. I know everyone's probably going to start screaming the bottom is in again. I do not believe so. Let's take a look at our measured moves here. We had this rising channel. Take the width of that rising channel to where we broke down, and that gets us down to about that 17.4 17.5 range, which would be our old bottom. Maybe get a bounce there, come back up and retest this area. Same thing we've been talking about, the continuation down. Now, what would make this chart bullish? We would have to break this yellow trend line. And right now, currently sits around 20,000. So if Bitcoin cannot get above 20,000, we remain extremely bearish here, guys, for the macro chart. If this is the case and the long term plays out, I think it'll be quite a while before we see 20,000 again. I'll show you that on the next charts. So as you guys know, here is my weekly with my targets. First one being 14.5, probably get a bounce there. Next one being around 75 to 8,500, and then of course lower. Again, this is the weekly. This takes time. As you guys know, my .com scam washout right here is what I believe is going to happen with crypto here. You could trade altcoins, but guys, be careful with them. I do not believe many of them will survive, if any. So this will be a huge washout. This will take time. And this is Amazon over here. This is playing out beautifully. We made these charts on December 2nd. I've showed you on the RSI here. Let me move this over. Once we break this trend line, that'll be the fake rally to the upside, and then most likely come back down to retest. That's why I think sometime in the beginning of next year will be our 75 to 8,500 low with a bounce, maybe up to the 15,000, as high as that range, before continuing down for a lower low. If this plays out the way I think. Again, this is not financial advice. So far, this has been playing out pretty good. But let's take a look at the big picture. So this is the same chart, just drawn out. It is the weekly. Kind of squeezed it in so you guys can see it. If it was to happen, like The Amazon chart played out, and it's looking very similar. You cannot deny that. But if this is to happen the same way, that shows our bottom around the middle or end of next year. Then this huge rally, right? Everyone will say, there it is, 4-year cycle. If you want to look at it that way, the 4-year halving, I don't look at it that way. I look at it as an election cycle. But that would get us up to sometime in 2025 around 38 to 40,000. Guys, there's huge opportunity here. Even if this plays out, that's a huge long opportunity, huge short opportunity from 2025 down, then another big rally. All this is major opportunity. None of this is negative. It's all positive if you look at it the right way, right? So if this does play out like this, we have some huge major opportunities here. We still have major opportunities on the downside this year into next year. So let's see how it plays out. Definitely make sure you subscribe. Guys, smash those thumbs up. Let's look at Stellar. Big picture on Stellar looks like all the other alts, just a dying altcoin or dying penny stock, in my opinion. Let's get the RSI off there, and let's just look at the simple look. To be patient, wait for a breakout of this, right? If we break up higher, if we break up past this 12.5 range, we could be looking at an 18-cent Stellar. If we break down past this bottom trend line right here, which I think is going to be more likely, matches up with all the other altcoin charts and the Bitcoin charts, right? And what's that target? That gets us down to about 3 cents. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. Let me know what you think of the video. Also, don't forget to put the ticker you'd like to see at end of tomorrow's video in the bottom in the comment section, and smash those thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Tick that notification bell. That will get you notified when I post new videos. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.